that you spent 2 hours building an expose on? A zoophile who also is homeless?
Yeah. So I assume you guys are somewhat familiar with like the lolcow sphere. I mean, obviously you guys know Wings, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
Fuck, not Wings.
Boogie.
Yeah, Wings, Boogie. Another one that Kyle
Chris
you
Chan.
would know is fuck. He's, why do I kind of not remember his name? He was a COD guy, friends with Keemstar for a long time. Alcoholic Blade. That's what I'm thinking of. Blade.
Yes.
Okay, so all these guys are like kind of the recent sort of lolcow discussions in the past 10 years. There's this guy, Tommy Tutor. His real name is Thomas Wassenberg. He's like fucking 80 years old. He's real old. And he was getting trolled back in like IRC chats back in like the 80s and 90s. He would log into like terminals, which from my understanding were like, it's not really a computer, but it's connected to a computer. Essentially, it's just like a screen with a keyboard, and you connect like a library or something to like the internet through it. But it's all hooked up to like one system. Is that right, Woody? Is that a proper understanding?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Why are you smiling? What's so funny?
Because I've used them professionally, and you're describing them as like, you know, like
what's fucking ancient, dude? Okay,
archaeologists have unearthed this terminal.
It is. Okay.
And Woody's like, I was an adult using these.
Like, you'd expect to see those in like the Fifth Element as like an ancient object.
It's made of papyrus.
But essentially, he's been around since then on like message boards, and his whole deal is he was in this hippie community called the Rainbow Family, and he got kicked out for some kind of dubious reason. I haven't been able to totally figure it out. There's some claims that he molested someone or something. I don't know, whatever. But he's been online for a very, very long time. He's also a gemstone dealer, and he's had a very interesting kind of sordid history. He's had a string of love interests. One of them was he met this guy on Facebook named Robert, and Robert thought that Tommy was auditioning for his band. Tommy is transgender, and he believed that he was going to go to Robert's house to like be with him, like in like a relationship. So Tommy goes to Robert's house, and he's posting like, "Oh, Robert's so old and hot and wrinkly. He's got these big hands, but he won't fuck me or touch me and stuff like this." He's just living in this old man's house he met on Facebook, and eventually Robert kicks him out, and he's like, "I thought he was gonna like be my drummer or something." He's like a kind of person, there has to be some term for this, but somebody who uses law enforcement phone call lines incessantly for nothing. So there's like 100 videos of him on YouTube being like, they're trolling me on the internet, calling the FBI, calling like the state's attorney's office, calling every law enforcement, the DEA. He'll call them and be like, I'm being trolled online. And they'll be like, they're talking about it. He'll be like, no, they're writing dissertations about me. They fucking hate me. And they'll be like, all right, we'll look into that for you. He's called like the Canadian police. He's called district courts all over the place. Part of the reason he gets trolled so much is he can't stop himself from typing. But another one of them is that he talks about his various escapades with suppressed children. And so he'll talk about it online. People will give him shit. And then he will call the cops and be like, can I be prosecuted for something I did 40 years ago where I molested a child? They'll be like, probably not.
Hey, quick question. I know you're busy.
Yeah. So he's a very
They're like, Mr. Polanski?
Don't you have an
you again? Are you in France? Yeah. He's a very, very, very fascinating guy. I have like kind of a sick fascination with people who just can't stop train wrecking their lives. I don't know what it is about them, but I just find them so interesting.
Yeah.
Do you like to gamble at all?
Do I like to gamble?
Yeah.
No, but I do like to watch one particular gambling streamer, but I don't gamble. But I do have a favorite gambling streamer who I've okay, this is like, I'm talking about myself too much. I'm working on a 6-hour-long video about this guy. He is like my favorite streamer of all time. He's a legend. His name is Bossman Jack. Are any of you familiar with him?
I am not.
No, but I'm interested. You should make it a trilogy.
I'm just going to do it in one go because I've tried the trilogy thing and it doesn't usually work. It'll be like part 1 gets like 1 million views, part 2 half that. But he's so fascinating. He's got a whole lore to him. He's basically this kid. I say kid, but he's like 10 years older than me. He's like near 30 at this point, who used to play RuneScape. And when he's playing RuneScape, you can gamble in RuneScape in the sand arena with RuneScape Gold. And it actually has an actual value. So there were players in, I want to say Venezuela or Brazil, who their dollar is worth so little but they would gamble in the sand casino, and then they would get money, and they could get the USD with it, so they could actually use it as real world money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it had a value to it. And this guy, Austin, he got addicted to gambling through RuneScape. And then when he was streaming RuneScape, he decided to move to real gambling when all the online gambling stuff took off, like Stake and all those websites. So he became a completely degenerate gambler. And you can watch him gamble his way up to like $30,000, and he'll have 30 grand in his like ready to get, like, you know, because you deposit money in and then you can take it out. He'll get ready to take it out, and he'll be like, all right, as soon as I go below 25, I'm pulling out. He gets to 25. As soon as I go below 24, I'm pulling out. He gets to 24. He increases his bets also. He's got such a bad gambling addiction that, like, usually you would think if you're a sane person, when you're gambling, the amount of money you bet will get lower. But when you're a gambler, you know, when you start losing, you got to bet higher to get the bigger win. So he'll get up. He's gone up to like 60, 70 grand before, which is life-changing money. And he will then gamble it all down while telling himself, he'll actively be out loud saying, I'm going to pull out, I'm going to pull out, I'm going to pull out. And he's just gambling himself.
Oh, this sounds depressing.
No, he's hilarious. He's amazing. He also smokes crack, which is
burying the lead a little bit.
Yeah. Well, one of his nicknames is Boss Man Crack because he smokes crack a lot. He buys it from a guy named Derek, who I can't remember if he's a blood or a crip, but yeah, Derek. And Derek actually was arrested at one point for some kind of child endangerment thing where his children tested positive for, I want to say, meth.
I Googled him and his Reddit came up. And so I went and put it on top all time. And one of the top posts is his sponsor gave him $100 DoorDash gift card. And he Googled sell DoorDash gift card for crypto.
Yes. Because he wants to gamble with it. He is incredible. He has like a whole lore with catchphrases. Like he says, damn that pussy nice whenever he wins. He'll be like, damn that pussy nice. Damn that pussy nice. He destroys his bedroom too. He lives with his mom and dad. And he had this door. He has not had a door for like years because he would get mad and just kick a hole through it and nobody would fix it. So he would just kick another hole through it. Eventually the door has got this like fast food shaped window in it. So at one point his dad comes up. He's like, Austin, got your burger. Austin's like, what, dude? I'm busy. He's like, Austin, got your burger. His dad's looking through the hole, holding the burger, trying to hand it to him through the hole in the door. Eventually the door came off, got replaced with a curtain. They tried to reinstall the door. Didn't really work out. He destroys his walls.
The clip I'm seeing right now, the door is off kilter, like kicked off, but still he didn't even move it out of the frame. He just leaves the broken door in the door, which seems inconvenient to me.
He just keeps going. Yeah, but he is my favorite streamer of all time. And I'm not even being ironic. I love this kid. This guy is so fucking funny. He is an absolute legend. It looks like that's the shape of his body.
How big are his streams?
How big?
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if he was super popular.
He's gotten like 1,000 to 2,000 viewers. His problem is that he'll get frustrated. He'll be like, fuck this. He'll end the stream and then he'll come right back because he just wants to gamble. So he'll be like, fuck this. I hate my life. I'm killing myself. He'll leave, come right back. Like multiple times in one day. He's done days where he'll be live for like a day or two straight, like streaming, get off for 10 minutes, streaming, get off for 10 minutes, streaming, get off for 10 minutes.
Also.
He should play up the idea that he's going to kill himself if he loses enough. There should be a noose hung from the ceiling in the background. Like just
that would be that'll be good. But the problem is he'll never do it. He'll never do it. And one thing that people noticed when he was gambling was that he would get more mad about losing like $500 versus losing like, let's say, like 40,000. Like he would freak the fuck out over $500. And the reason why is because he needed that last 500 to buy his fucking crack for the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
crack doesn't
for him,
bad for impulse
as long as he can smoke crack and buy weed.
How does he keep getting reloaded?
Probably streaming, right?
He has stake sponsorship. So he had a stake sponsorship. He eventually lost that for a period of time. He got a BC game sponsorship. It was like a similar company. Eventually he lost that. He's been banned from various websites. But yeah, he gets reloads. He gets juicers from chat, they call them, where people will juice him.
Yeah.
He can keep gambling. He'll always peak degenerate gambler. He'll message people on Discord being like, dude, I swear I'm good for it. I swear I'm good for it. Just give me like $400. Never pays anyone back. He's like, definitely, who knows how much money in debt.
You know some people like that.
Never
He's
pays
gambled-
anyone back. Oh yeah, sometimes you have to cover their debts.
He has gambled millions of dollars in total. Obviously, that's
I
not
wasn't
money.
even talking about that.
You remember that, Woody?
Yeah, as soon as
I
you said
did,
it, I was
Jesus.
fucking. You know who loses bets? We do. You know who
Somehow
didn't bet?
me.
Us.
Somehow Woody and I lose them. We didn't even know.
How much do you guys owe Kyle?
Nothing. I
Oh,
pay my
no,
bets.
this is
I think I'm all
this is
paid
a
out.
different thing.
Oh, okay. I like Kyle's like the PKA loan shark. Like,
No.
come to
Oh
your
no,
house.
that-
What he
it-
was saying, someone
yeah.
was doing betting and like amongst the Patreons, and one guy ripped everybody else off. So PKA made it good. And well, I guess it was the right thing to do. I still feel ripped off.
Yeah, it was there.
Yeah,
there
we
was
were.
there was some more to it that they won't go into, but it was like didn't want to get drug into a whole thing, and it was easier. And since then there was no more gambling.
Kyle, are you into gambling?
Lightly. What I mentioned it because I think that it is a good way to get into a sport that you're not familiar with. If you put a little money on it, then you'll watch the whole game because you need to know who wins to see if you won or not. But also, like, you'll care if they get a hit or they play good defense or whatever. You'll get more invested, and $10 is enough for me. Like just a little skin in the game is all it takes to make me care a little bit more. This year, I bet a little bit on the Super Bowl, and it was so good. It was so much better. And when I watch the UFC, I'll usually do 2 or 3 of the fights I'll bet on. You really got to find somebody who wants to bet the other way. I don't go into gambling websites. I bet with my friends, you know.
See, my problem is that I can never gamble because I know I will like it and I will do it all the time. I have like a crippling nicotine addiction. I rip through 2 of these things a day at this point, the Zins, just like ruining my fucking life. So anything that I like, I'm just going to do over and over and over and over and over. Which I think, you know, at this point, my greatest addiction is YouTube, which is, I mean, an okay addiction
That's
to have.
good.
But I know if I tried heroin, it would be over for me. I would
For
be like,
real. Yeah, I'm with you there.
nicotine rules.
Do you drink?
no, I don't drink. Not really.
Yeah, don't start that either.